I was starting my writing sessions for my record, and I did my first session. It was a Ricky Reed. We got in the studio, and I wrote the first song on the album, and it's a song called 100 Letters. And in that song, I tell the story of the relationship from start to finish, and I give away the ending like the prologue, like I said. And then I went, oh my God, I love Romeo and Juliet because I feel like I'm living it. I'm going through this relationship where I feel like a version of myself and a version of himself are dying for the sake of wanting to, to make our love work.
Yeah.
And then that song was a success.
Wow.
I've knocked that one out of the park in a day. It was great. And then I started trying to write other music, and I realized I don't know what to write about. I don't know what to write about. I don't know who I am. I don't know what to say. I have nothing left to say. In starting this new record and going through this breakup, I realized how much of my identity I had given to my partner. And, it was one of those things where I would wake up in the morning in my empty house, which I hadn't done in years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go and I'd take a shower, and it's quiet, and I'm by myself, and I'd go back in my room, and I'd stand in front of my closet, and I'd think, well, God, what do I wear when he's not looking over my shoulder, and I'm not thinking about what's going to make him happy that I put on, what's going to make him find me attractive, what's going to make him like me. Who am I when who I am is not defined by the gaze of another person. Because who you are when you're in a relationship is reflected in the way your partner sees you, or in the way your partner, acts towards you sometimes, which is a very toxic thing. That's not a good thing. And so I found myself being like, who am I when I'm not taking his opinion into account all the time? What do I want to eat? What do I want to watch? What music do I like? You know what I mean? Like, what do I want to do? I didn't even know who I was. And so then when I realized that, and then I made the connection to Romeo and Juliet, it was very clear what the record should be about and how to write it. What I did when I broke up with this person I broke up was, I was like, I need to spend time alone. And I sat in my room, and I remember one night, this is gonna sound actually insane, but
I'm excited.
I remember one night being alone shortly after the breakup and sitting in my room, and I have like this wall of mirrors across from my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting and like looking in the mirror and being like, what? Like, who is that? Like, I remember, and I sat there, and so I got off my bed, and I crawled across the carpet, and I sat down in front of the mirror, and for like 30 minutes, I just like made faces at myself in the mirror alone. I had this moment where the last time I was alone, I had long brown hair, and I lived in New Jersey, and I had a mom and a dad and 2 little brothers.
Different world around you.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I'm looking at myself, and I have short hair, and I'm in this house in California, and there's this man in my life who's now not anymore, and I'm making all these faces at myself in the mirror, and I just remember sitting there like, I felt like I was on drugs. I was like, what do you, like, I didn't even recognize, like, I didn't connect. I didn't look at my face and think, that's me. I was looking at my face and thinking, like, that's a nose, and like that's skin, and like that's a face, but like feeling no attachment to the person I was looking at. And I was like, this is bad. This is really bad. And so then I started spending time alone, and I started being like, because if you don't spend time with yourself, then you don't know yourself, and if you don't know yourself, you can't love yourself. And it's just like this vicious cycle of,
Beautifully said.
of relationships,